Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Drunken Phoenix here. So, yeah, I did the name change. I wanted to change it to something a little bit more interesting, and I came up with the name because it represents two of my favorite characters, Lei Wulong and Ling Xiaoyu. I wanted to include like another part of it that would something that would represent Julia, but I couldn't really come up with nothing pretty good. So, we're going to be Drunken Phoenix from here on out. But yeah, so I wanted to go on here and talk about these updated leaderboard statistics, and this is from the person Olbays, and this person is the person that was all throughout Tekken 7's lifespan was giving us a lot of usage statistics, rank distribution. So his data is pretty. I mean, it's the sample size, of course, but this was the data that everybody refers to when they talk about the usage for Tekken 7. So he finally gave us some details regarding the usage for Tekken 8. It is a little bit different from what I've seen as far as the data that was released like after, was it the first week or the first something? But this data is for the first month of Tekken 8. And I think from here on out, I'm going to refer to his data because this was the person whose data we were referring to all throughout Tekken 7. And this is a guy that everyone says that, like, has the best data. And, like, people refer to his data for everything, including you all that refer to his data saying that, oh, Lei Wulong, nobody plays Lei. Well, I do. But that's besides the point. I want to go in here and look at the popular character usages right quick. I thought there was like a lot of interesting things here. So, no surprise that Dragunov and Reina are the top two still. That's pretty expected. I think based on my matches I fight against in rank battle, this is pretty accurate. Victor at number 3, which is, again, not really surprising. I see a lot of Victors. I see a lot of Azucenas. I see a lot of Kings. King is the highest legacy character. Unless you guys consider Dragunov legacy, I think he's still kind of too new to be legacy. I mean, he's definitely a classic character, but I don't know if he made it to that legacy status yet. But King is was in the game since Tekken 1 and is very recognizable and just King is a character that you think of when you think of just Tekken. Like, he's one of the most iconic characters. Jin here at number 6, Devil Jin following right behind him. Harong is still in the top 10 at number 8. Feng, now this was an interesting one. Feng, on this data, Feng is number 9. Because if I remember correctly, on the other data that was released after the first week, I'm not sure who the source was. It was somebody, but Feng was like in the 20s. So it's really interesting to see Feng at, in the top 10 right now. And Yoshi caps it off right at number 10. And I still have to say I'm very, very impressed with Yoshi's usage, because all throughout Tekken 7 he was always in the bottom half, like around the late 30s. Like, I think in season 4 he peaked at like number 38 out of 51. So that's just right outside the top 10. I mean the bottom 10. I'm sorry, right outside the bottom 10. So it's really interesting to see Yoshi in the top 10. Like, I think out of everyone, he has the biggest come up. And I think that has a lot to do with his design, as well as him being a lot stronger. But I think I can honestly say that each character's design is a big contributing factor to their performance. Because I think we all know the biggest loser on here will be Paul Phoenix. He's here at 21 right now, when all throughout Tekken 7, he was always number 1 or 2. Always. So to see him at 21, and I know a lot of people don't like his design, they're not a big fan of the hair, is really and Paul Phoenix, he's a classic character, legacy character. He's not, he's pretty fun to play and not too hard. So yeah, I really think the design, like character designs, really play the biggest role in this. Not the biggest role, but a big role, I would say. And I think that Yoshimitsu and Paul Phoenix are great testaments to this. But going down more, Brian at number 11, that's a little surprising. I would have expected Brian to be in the top 5 somewhere, but I guess, that's reserved for all the new characters that made it in. So Victor, Reina, Azucena. So I guess, but still, I would have thought Brian would have been at least in the top 10, but he's just right outside of it. Interesting to see Yoshi above Brian. June, I'm not too surprised with June. I'm not too surprised with Lily. All these people look up to par to what I was expecting. Xiao Yu, my character, she is right at the edge of the bottom 10. So we're coming up, Xiao Yu players. We're coming up. We're going to be, if we could get out the bottom 10, that would be freaking awesome. I'm rooting on us. But yeah, I'm happy to see that Xiao Yu is getting a little bit more popularity, because I remember, if I can remember correctly, wasn't she like at number 26, 27 at one point, like from the other data? But yeah. Now this is the one that I think was the most shocking to me. Asuka at number 28. This is very telling, because if for those of you all that don't know, a few months ago, like right before Tekken 8 came out, I made a video saying that I predict that Asuka is going to lose a lot of popularity. And I said this for a few reasons. For one, I feel like June kind of has a very similar moveset to Asuka, plus her own unique flares that make her just more interesting as a whole. I feel like June has a better design than Asuka. Asuka's design is, although I like it, a lot of people aren't super crazy about it. The other reason was that, what was the other reason? Oh, I feel that Lily kind of, not Lily, Azucena kind of stole Asuka's story plot-wise as far as being Lily's rival. I mean, we still see the rivalry between Lily and Asuka, but it does seem like Azucena is kind of taking that place as well. And I don't know, it just seems that Asuka isn't as important. What was the other reason I gave? There were a few other reasons I gave. I can't remember all of them, but suffice to say, I was correct. Asuka has lost a lot of popularity according to this data, like to be 28, because usually she'll be around right here, like around in the mid. Like I would have expected her to be like around anywhere from 17 to 20. This should be 20. I don't know why they put 21. But yeah, around this range. But no, she's literally at the bottom 5, and this is I don't think this ever happened to Asuka before. She was never in the bottom 5. Like literally, Asuka's literally next to Shaheen Zafina, y'all. Like that is crazy to me. Asuka's below Kuma. Wow. Asuka is not looking good for Asuka. She's really losing a lot of popularity. And I think also another thing is that she's in her role in the story wasn't super important as well. I know a lot of people were expecting her to have a bigger role, but they haven't. There was another reason why I predicted Asuka was going to lose popularity, but I can't remember what it was. I remember the Azucena thing, the Lily thing. I know what it was. The other reason I gave was Reina. I feel like Reina and Asuka both kind of have the tomboyish schoolgirl vibe, and I feel like Reina also gave Asuka a lot of attention, just as far as personality wise as well as looks wise. And Reina is a lot more interesting than Asuka, so that was another reason I gave. I feel like Reina kind of stole Asuka's swag as far as the looks and the overall tomboyish schoolgirl vibe. So yeah, I'm not surprised, but then again, I am kind of surprised because dang, like I didn't know it was gonna be this bad. But yeah, I predicted that. So Asuka might, I don't know, y'all. She might be losing. She might have reached her peak. She might not be getting much popular anymore. Like do I see her a lot? I've run into her occasionally, but I mean, the fact that she's on the same level of usage as a Shaheen and a Kuma, and like literally nobody gives a crap about Shaheen or Zafina, and she's right next to them, that is sad. Really sad. But yeah, so these are the usage data. The biggest, like I said, the biggest things that really stood out to me the most was Yoshi being so high, Paul being so low, and Asuka being even lower, Leroy, I feel so bad for Leroy. I feel bad for Leroy because I feel like he really could have been, and I guess in Tekken 7 at first he was up here, but it's like you can tell they put a lot of effort in his design and they're really trying to push him a lot more in the story and stuff. But I just feel like ever since, pre-nerf Leroy and Tekken 7, he really left a bad taste in everyone's mouth and no one's interested, because he was literally a character that came up with having everything, and it was just so obvious, and he, you know, sometimes your first impression can be a really lasting impression. So I can't believe he's this low. Like Leroy is literally the lowest character in the game right now. Like Panda is a clone, but this is very ugly. And it's like you could tell they're really trying to push him, but it's not work. So hopefully they don't. Hopefully they learn from their mistakes of not making overpowered, busted characters. Yeah, that's, I don't know. That's crazy to me. Let me see. Does he have any other data that I might be interested in? So individual character. Let me just look around. So I'm a Xiao Yu player. I just want to see how we're doing. So with Xiao Yu, okay, so my current rank is Raijin. Oh, Raijin, how do you pronounce it? Okay, so Raijin is 1.3% of Xiao Yu players are in the Raijin rank. And in total, basically I'm in the top 4% of Xiao Yu players. Top 4 is the top, let me see, 1, 2, 3, about top 4-ish, 4.5 maybe, top 4-ish percentage of Xiao Yu players. So that makes me, of course, feel pretty good. That makes me feel really good, actually. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, Xiao Yu, a lot of Xiao Yu players are in the Garyu ranks, which is, that's what, like a big portion of them are, which is not surprising. The red ranks is really like a bloodbath. Let's see a few other characters I might want to look at. Who's Harong? Let me see Harong. I was thinking about getting into some Harong lately. Wow. Half of the Harong players are in the Shinryu rank. Like literally half. This is very. It seems like a lot of you guys are really struggling in the red ranks with Harong. Wow. Half of you guys are here? That is crazy. And then it's like it drops dramatically like after that. So yeah, what is going on with you guys here in the Shinryu ranks? I tell you, the red ranks are a bloodbath. What else is interesting that I want to check out? Let's look at Shaheen's. His look pretty evenly distributed until you get to like the, you know, Raijin ranks and above, but well, I guess the blue ranks. But Shaheen's is pretty evenly spread. That's interesting. So it seems like people aren't struggling with Shaheen as much. I want to look at Reina because I know she has like one of the lowest win rates in the game. Yep, as expected, it seems like Reina players are doing better than Harong players, I want to say. But it seems, well, this can't be right. It seems like they're only measuring from Tenryu and upwards. So it looks like they didn't really take into account. Oh, you know what it is? Maybe, I'm not sure why they don't have the other red ranks data, but it could be because she has such a low win rate. Maybe a vast majority are in these lower ranks. So maybe that's why this looks different or weird. I don't know. Well, let me just see what other data is available. Most popular characters. Let's see. Top 5 most top 5 most popular characters. Okay, so for all the, okay, so let's look at, make sure, can you guys see this? You guys can, I think. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, well, okay, these ads, bro, come on. Is that better? Is it better? It's better, okay. So let me see, okay, so for Guard of Destruction, the highest rank, there's a lot of Dragunov is dominating these lists, actually. Dragunov is literally, wow. So Dragunov is the most common highest ranked character. Like he's literally, so him and Reina are dominating these ranks. Well, Dragunov especially, from everything except for Tekken Guard Supreme. This is crazy. Dragunov is obviously a problem, but a lot of people want to complain about Xiao Yu. But look at you guys. Look, the data speaks for itself, y'all. But anyway, we also have Reina in second for God of Destruction, Jin and Victor, Azucena and King, and Feng Wei. So that's interesting. Mind you, I don't see Xiao Yu in any of these. By the way, I mean, like I said, I don't think Xiao Yu is S tier. I mean, she's pretty good, but so is everybody else, and she at least requires a lot of effort to play. Like Dragunov is pretty much brain dead right now. But yeah, so I see. So basically, Dragon, like the top most popular characters in all these ranks, kind of expected. Mostly top 10 characters for the most part, and mostly like really good characters like June, Devil Jin, Dragunov, as I was saying. Interestingly, Fang is only in God of Destruction and Tekken Emperor. I would have expected to see a lot more things. But yeah. But Dragunov is dominating the ranks right now. So that's very interesting to see. But yeah, but that's all I have for that I wanted to go over. It's just always interesting to look at this. So this is the data as of a month ago. The game has been out for about a month and a half now. So it'll be, yeah, so just a couple of days, it'll be 2 months. So this data, I guess you could say this data is still somewhat relevant, but yeah, just like I think it's just interesting to go over, especially since it was released by Oba, who was known for always releasing this data. So I think I would, prefer to go over his statistics over the other ones, just for consistency's sake. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.